Through you, Mr. Mayor, it is 9 a.m. and I can confirm that the streaming and the recording is on. The meeting is yours.
Whoops, put my mic on. Thank you, Madam Clerk. Morning, Council. Morning, residents, SLT. I see that we do indeed have quorum this morning, so I call this regular meeting for June 24th into session. We now ask all those that can to please rise for the national anthem. Okay, thank you. Next up, I would now like to ask Councillor Wink to read the land acknowledgement statement.
Thank you, Mayor. The town of Pelham is situated on treaty land steeped in the rich history of the First Nations, such as the Hattawandurunk, Haudenosaunee, and the Anishinaabe, including the Mississaugas of the Credit First Nation. This territory is covered by the Upper Canada Treaties and is protected by the Dish with One Spoon Wampum Agreement. Today, many First Nations, Métis, and Inuit people from across Turtle Island live and work in Niagara. The town of Pelham stands in solidarity with all Indigenous peoples, past and present, acknowledging that our high standard of living is a result of the resources and lasting friendship of Indigenous peoples.
Thank you, Councillor Wink. I now turn to the clerk.
Through you, Mr. Mayor, thank you. That does bring us to the approval of the agenda. I have a motion put forth by Councillor Niznik, seconded by Councillor Kerr. Be it resolved that the agenda for the June 24th, 2026 regular meeting of council be adopted as circulated. To you, Mr. Mayor, for discussion.
Thank you. Any questions or revisions of the agenda? Not seeing any. I'll call the vote. All those in favor? I see none opposed. Motion carries.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. That does bring us to disclosure of pecuniary interest and the general nature thereof. I ask that you call for any disclosures.
Thank you. After viewing the agenda, does any council member have pecuniary interest to declare? Not seeing any, Madam Clerk.
Thank you. I have so noted. Mr. Mayor, that does bring us to the presentations. Our first presentation is the Ontario Senior of the Year Award for 2026. To you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Council, I think this is 2 weeks in a row that we've had the pleasure of recognizing outstanding citizens in our town. As mayor and as council, it is our pleasure to take this opportunity this morning to recognize one of Pelham's seniors, someone who has continuously committed his time and talents to serve the community of Pelham. Fred Arbor. Everybody knows him as Fred, but it is indeed Fred Arbor. Continues to volunteer countless hours to the community and has been selected to receive the prestigious Ontario Senior of the Year Award for 2026. It is of no surprise that Mr. Arbor has been awarded this distinction, and he shows no signs of stopping his volunteer efforts as he nears his 84th birthday. His impact on the community has ranged from being an active member of the Pelham Farmers Market, serving on the town committees, including his long-standing support for Pelham's Canada Day events, assisting with local sporting groups, including his role with Pelham Minor Hockey, and all of that on top of being an extremely dedicated and proud member of the Fonthill Lions. Fred Arbor has been a member of the Fonthill Lions Club Service Club for 57 years and worn many hats within the organization: president, secretary, treasurer, director, environment chair, membership chair, and literacy chair. Most recently, Mr. Arbor was a key member of the team who have supported the work behind the GL Klager Park, transferring ownership to the municipality. This unique agreement will ensure that the facility continues to serve the community and upholds the Lions' motto of "We Serve," that has become ingrained in the volunteer work that Mr. Arbor has been so passionate about. And before I go further, that deal that was made between the town and the Lions could have went any other way and filled their pockets, and instead they wanted the park to continue to serve the community, and made the deal with the municipality that will benefit both parties in the years to come. And on behalf of the council and the residents, again, I want to thank the Fonthill Lions for choosing to go down that road. Thank you. With an obvious passion for serving his community, Mr. Arbor has made significant impacts that have continued to improve the lives of Pelham residents. He most definitely has been just as busy in his retirement as he was during his career with the local butcher shop. Through his volunteer efforts, countless community organizations have been positively impacted, and we may never really know just how far-reaching the impacts of Mr. Arbor's volunteer work has reached. For those that haven't yet had the pleasure of meeting him, stop by the Pelham Farmers Market on a Thursday evening. Mr. Arbor will be there, guaranteed. And when you get the chance to meet him, you will be able to experience firsthand the dedication and commitment that he has for his community. Congratulations, Fred. Please come up to the horseshoe. Before we present you, any words?
Well, I would just like to thank them for bestowing this honor on me. I don't usually look forward to honors. I just like to help out wherever I can. I know this is a seniors thing, but I actually started volunteering when I was 18. Been involved with organizations ever since then. So, thank you very much for
Thank you. We obviously got your age wrong, and I apologize. But you don't have to tell us who your age.
unfortunately, you were right.
Give him a hug if you want.
Yeah,
Make sure we get that video.
that's nice. Congratulations.
Good job,
Oh,
Fred.
stay there and get a picture for.
One more.
Oh, okay. Oh,
Do as you're told, Marla. Well done. Congratulations.
Well, council, we could do that all day, couldn't we? Excellent. To the clerk, please.
Through you, Mr. Mayor, thank you. We are on our next presentation, which is Jack A. CMH Award winners. And this is being presented by Ms. Donna Harrington, the Jack Accessibility Consultant from the Harrington Group Limited. Thank you.
Thank you. Welcome. Thanks for joining us today.
morning.
You have the floor.
Good morning. As mentioned, I am the Accessibility Coordinator for the Town of Pelham, and our Accessibility Advisory Committee, which serves 7 committees in the Niagara region, has established a new award called Accessibility Matters Here, where we recognize organizations and businesses that have made efforts in improving accessibility for people with disabilities. We have 2 award winners for the Town of Pelham this year.
Nice.
One being Sobeys of Fawn Hill for their efforts in built environment, and Movement Unlimited, which is a gym that focuses on accessibility for people with disabilities and provides excellent customer service for people with disabilities. I do believe that somebody from Movement Unlimited is here today. I'm not sure. Great. If you could come forward and I could present you the award. On behalf of the Joint Accessibility Advisory Committee, thank you for your efforts.
So again, thank you for that presentation, and thank the businesses of the town who strive to continually strive to make their businesses accessible for everyone. And congratulations to the 2 recipients this morning. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. We're on our next presentation, and this is from GEI Canada AM Annual Progress Report and the AM Strategic Policy Update. And we do have Ms. Kelly Dell, who is the project manager, here to present. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you for joining us this morning. Looking forward to this report.
Good morning, Mayor and Council. I am Kelly Dell, and I am with Jen Gross. So today we'll provide an update on the town's asset management program, including proposed strategic asset management policy update and the annual progress report. We will review progress made over the past year, current challenges, and priorities moving forward. We'll begin with a brief overview of the provincial asset management requirements. We'll then review the key updates to the strategic asset management policy. Following that, we'll summarize progress made since the 2025 asset management plan, discuss current risks and challenges, and conclude with priorities for 2026. Pelham's asset management journey. As you can see, the town of Pelham started their journey in 2018 and continues to this day. You'll see the white highlighted box is the strategic asset management policy. We have also updated the asset management policy concurrently with the asset management progress report where we are today. Next. The Ontario Regulation 588-17 requires municipalities to maintain asset management plans and conduct an annual review of implementation progress. The regulations requires municipalities to report on progress, identify challenges affecting implementation, and outline strategies to address those challenges. This report fulfills those annual requirements. Strategic Asset Management Policy Update. The Strategic Asset Management Policy has been updated to reflect evolving best practices, municipal priorities, and recent corporate initiatives. While the overall intent of the policy remains unchanged, several enhancements have been made to strengthen decision-making, climate resilience, and integration with long-term planning. Key changes include modernized format and readability. The policy has been reformatted to improve navigation, readability, and consistency with current asset management documents. Expanded strategic alignment. The policy now incorporates newer municipal plans related to climate change, energy management, and natural asset management. The introduction of natural asset management. Natural assets are now formally recognized as part of the town's infrastructure system and service delivery framework. Holistic sustainability approach. Decision-making now considers environmental, social, and economic outcomes alongside financial sustainability. enhanced climate change framework. The policy strengthens both climate adaptation and mitigation considerations within asset management planning. Clear service-based asset management. The policy reinforces that assets are managed based on the services they provide to the community rather than solely their financial value. Improved decision-making framework. Infrastructure decisions will now explicitly consider service levels, risk, climate impacts, environmental considerations, and community priorities. Stronger integration with financial planning. Asset management outcomes are more directly linked to budgeting, long-term financial planning, and capital investment decisions. Transition. Together, these changes modernize the policy, strengthen the town's ability to make informed and sustainable infrastructure decisions. Now, the annual progress report itself. The annual progress report provides a summary of activities completed since the approval of the 2025 Asset Management Plan, where we were here a year ago. It highlights progress made, ongoing improvements, current challenges, and priorities for the upcoming year. It also includes an updated snapshot of the town's infrastructure portfolio and overall asset management program. Asset management strategic alignment. Asset management supports multiple strategic priorities across the organization. Infrastructure investment and renewal supports service scope and capacity. Climate adaptation initiatives support environmental sustainability. Infrastructure reliability supports future readiness and growth. Asset management investments support community development through quality service delivery. And finally, financial planning ensures infrastructure investments remain affordable and sustainable over the long term. Over to you, Jen.
So we are going to look at the updated state of the infrastructure. So some of the changes, so not all of the data was fully updated for this update, but we wanted, and the update to the data and the condition information is not a requirement of the OREG, but Pelham wanted to take a more proactive approach, ensure that you have updated information for your decision making. So where there was significant changes to asset information, where we got building condition assessments or we did major improvements, we understood better asset inventories, that information was updated, but some of the information was just degraded by a year to reflect that it's 1 year older, and that we've added an inflationary measure to keep up with the updated costs, because that's one of the big challenges with asset management, is ensuring that you're continually updating those replacement values to keep up with today's markets. So you'll see from last year that we had approximately almost $1 billion in assets, and now that's been updated to just pushed over $1 billion. So some of that is, again, a reflection of the inflationary measure that was added, and some of it is a result of updated asset information. So for fleet and equipment, for instance, we've updated the inventory for fire. The building condition assessment that was done for Meridian Center has been added. So there has been, and then there was updates for the road condition. So there has been a wholesome update where it was going to be more impactful. So some of the progress and continual improvements that have been done over the last year, the town's really been working on natural asset management, understanding the risks of those assets, really trying to understand the climate change and how to incorporate that into asset management planning. And then all of the state of good repair work that you've continued to invest in for your roads and your infrastructure. So we want to make sure that that is a really key opportunity to highlight that those are improvements that are ongoing. So the challenges and risks, so this is a requirement to update you on those challenges and risks that are being faced by the town. I do want to reassure you that these are challenges that every municipality is facing. So those funding gaps and the funding requirements is something everybody's facing, of trying to close that infrastructure gap. Limited resource capacity, staff turnover, these are all things that municipalities are facing, and we're trying to build a program that even if you have staff turnover, you're able to still make good decisions based on the information that you have available to try to minimize those impacts. Legislative and regulatory changes, that's an ongoing struggle that every municipality faces. You and your staff are continuing to do those efforts to try to minimize those impacts, understand what those changes mean to the town. And then data and system challenges. So information is always a key part of asset management, and trying to make those improvements so that we can, again, continue to make these good decisions based on good information. So the priorities for 2026 that have been identified is your renewal of your fleet to reduce reliance on rental equipment, ensuring your fleet size is appropriate for your needs and your services, implement policy and governance enhancements identified through your recent strategic initiatives, and then the advances in climate change and climate resilience integration in accordance with the corporate climate adaptation plan. Sorry, words are hard. Next steps are continuous asset data updates. We're continually trying to make sure we're making decisions on good information. We're collecting the information we need to do that. Continual improvement on asset management practices, looking for the opportunities to identify, those high-risk assets. What information do we need? Updated condition information, so getting the condition assessment for the Meridian Center, for instance. That's a big component of making good decisions, to really understanding your assets based on an assessed condition and not necessarily just an age and an estimated service life. And then natural asset management integration in your climate change and resilience integration. Again, that's another priority for our next steps. It's a quick update, but if anybody has any questions, we'd be happy to.
All right, thank you for that report. My one question before I open it to council, natural asset management integration. Not all municipalities have taken that step, have they? Or has
Every municipality is a little bit different, and there are definitely municipalities that are prioritizing that and trying to get ahead. Most municipalities are not very far along with it, so,
Yes.
But yes.
Because it does add quite a dollar value to the asset management overall.
Yeah.
And everybody, or we've been told that as soon as you take out the natural and try to do a man-made that replaces that natural asset, it's a pretty expensive way to go. So it's a lot easier, a lot better to keep the natural assets in place and work around them. That's the correct strategy, I believe.
Yes, there's a great value to the community and the infrastructure even to have those natural assets. So it's good that you guys are recognizing the importance of those assets and trying to build policies around your natural assets.
Excellent, thank you. I'll open it to council. Questions? I'll go with Councillor Wink.
Yes, thank you, Mayor, through you, and thank you very much for your presentation. It's an eye-opener, but this is just kind of high level. I want to drill down a little bit on one statistics in here that indicates that 12.86% of our assets are in very poor condition. Can you kind of highlight some of those assets that are in poor condition, and what assets do we really have to zero in on?
And that's something staff is working on continually. Without the information in front of me, there's probably a varying list of assets that are in very poor condition. And very poor doesn't mean you necessarily have to address them immediately, but it's a good opportunity to make sure you're looking at those assets maybe more frequently, looking at renewal and rehab methodologies that you can improve the condition without the more costly replacement value. So your staff are looking at those opportunities for things like roads and storm and sanitary to find those opportunities to do those less costly interventions rather than replacements.
Thank you. So I'll put this to the CAO then. I know, we all know that Tice Road needs rehabilitation or serious improvement, but what else is in the horizon that we have to identify to improve upon?
So two ways I'd like to answer that, if I may. The first is, as council's aware, and we're very proud to have applied for $32 million in upper government funding to help us with a whole smorgasbord of infrastructure projects. But assuming some degree of success by this municipality in that chase, although the plan here fundamentally talks about condition of assets, our plan for what we're doing might change dramatically to honor the dollars coming in the three years where we have to get started on those things. So what's possible and what our priorities are could be changed for us dramatically on August 15th when we're told we will be informed of our success or failure or degree of success, as the case may be. So anything we say right now would be hugely qualified with that. But the basic point where our worst fail and what's most critical and what are we worried about, the man, the myth, the legend, Derek sees me making eye contact with him, and he knew he wasn't getting out of this without approaching the podium and making some comments, and he's not getting out of this without approaching the podium and making some comments. It is a lot of people who work on this, both internal and external, and we're grateful for all of them. But the man who lives it the most, this plan the most, machines take different cogs, but the biggest cog in this for several years is standing there getting kind of red, feeling embarrassed because I'm singing his praises, but he deserves the praises. Also, he can answer the question better than I can. So I don't know what's close on imminent fail. What I can say is our bridges are in remarkably good condition for a municipality with this much water. This is my fifth of, I've worked at 4 other municipalities. All of them had much longer lists of bridges and culverts also. So I'm always amazed by how well those are, because when those things fail, I mean, at your best day it's only extremely inconvenient for residents for quite a while. Like, that's your best day. And your worst day is a lot worse than that, and it's safety and access, and there's a heck of a lot of things that cascade from that. So that's the good news, not going to be Derek's answer. But beyond that, I actually don't know what he's going to say. And so I look forward to learning alongside you, Councillor Wink.
Mr. Young?
Thank you. Through you, Mr. Mayor. We've been working closely with the Finance Department to come up with a 10-year forecast. In that 10-year forecast, we have items in there like the replacement of the cast iron water main, which is prone to breaking. I think we have next 4 years, we have areas within 4 years we'll have removed all of the cast iron that we have in town, which will benefit because they're the ones that are prone to more breaking. We're currently carrying out our stormwater CCTV and assessment, which hasn't been done for a number of years. So we're getting all that data on board so we can make better adjustments to our assets and our inventory based on condition as well. We currently go through all our sanitary stuff. We have areas that need improvement and need rehabilitating. So we have that listed all out. So that's in the forecast for the next 5 years. It's just items like that we can work on, as the CIO pointed out. If we do get a big chunk of grant funding, that's where the focus has to shift. What we don't want to miss out on is the stuff that we still need to address. So that's why we kind of spread it out over the next 5 years to ensure that we don't miss those smaller items and we make sure we get them picked up.
Councillor?
Thank you, Derek.
Just to
Good answer as always.
And through you, Mayor, just to add to that, is some of the assets are still just being assessed based on an age and an estimated service life. And very poor can just mean there's 20% or less remaining life. So some of those items are still not things that you need to action right now, but it's just being highlighted as it's kind of your red flag, no pun intended, that, start looking, start preparing, start doing that asset management planning. And it wouldn't be realistic to get rid of everything in very poor, and you wouldn't want to, because you would be replacing things before you technically need to. So your staff's job is to kind of assess what is in very poor condition, what are the high-risk ones, what truly need replacement right now, and then start planning for those future replacements of the others.
Okay, thank you for that.
Okay. And I'd like to point out, Councillor, that 12% is high enough, but at the region it is 45% of our infrastructure that is poor in condition. So we're relatively doing a good job, I think, at the municipal level. I'll come over to this side. Any questions? Deputy Mayor Eckert.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Just a quick question. I get asked this a lot by people, and I want to hear an answer that will define for these people that are listening and inquiring about that. What do you define as a natural asset?
In terms
And can you tell us about a couple that we have?
So in terms of the regulation, the term is actually green infrastructure. So it can be man-made, it can be more like your trees, but it could be things like storm ponds and things like that. So everybody kind of defines it a little bit differently in what's included. You had an asset management plan for your natural infrastructure, so that included like your tree stands and I think there was a big focus on the trees and the like. But we can look at how that is defined. Some of those natural assets are actually in your storm system for your storm management ponds and things like that. So making sure we're not double counting assets and really have a solid plan in place. So that's one of the priorities and why natural asset management's kind of the focus for the upcoming year of making sure we've got a proper plan in place for those.
Thank you. Okay, thank you, Deputy Mayor. Councilor Hildebrand.
Through you, Mr. Mayor, thank you. I was glad to hear that our largest and most expensive asset, the Meridian Center, is now included in this report. I've been waiting for that comment to be made because even though it was built in 2018, there's a lot of very expensive equipment in that building, and it has a definite life. And thank you so much, and thank you for the complete report you've done for us. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Councilor. Any further questions? I'll go to Councilor Kerr.
I always like looking at these things because it's kind of fun to see where things are and what might be the infamous bump in the road that might appear in the future. I was quite intrigued. Maybe the fire chief should take some kudos because the asset management replacement value looks like for fire dropped by 1.4 million, or yeah, 1.4. It was quite interesting from 13.8 down to 12.4 in a year. So we don't have to replace as much. That was kind of interesting, or at least worry about it. But the other was to look at, I was quite intrigued that Parks, Recreation, and Culture was listed in the very poor category. And I mean, that's a big area. So I'm going to exclude the MCC out of, or is the MCC part of that? I look at that. So what are the types of items that might be included in that would be considered poor? Or is it just the amount of parkland and that we're deficient in, and that kind of fits into the equation?
Turn to the CAO first.
Well, I mean, the good news is this fall we'll be starting renovations on the Quaker House that currently houses the Model Railway Club. That is in deplorable, that not being a technical term, condition, both inside and out, needs considerable love. And as I think Council, where we have roughly a $250,000 grant, that ballpark, 200 and something thousand at any rate. And that's a combination of municipal money and provincial money going to work there. Old Pelham Town Hall continues to have some challenges around a septic system. As Council's aware, that's been an on-again, off-again item for 8 years anyway. So those are some challenges in our rural infrastructure. And this, we now have Klager Park as a proud part of our parks inventory. We know next time round we go through this exercise, it will be included, and there are absolutely items there that require municipal resources and staff time as well. So those are some notable ones that are more evident than not in the rec world. Beyond that, we have some outdoor courts that we have put significant money into in recent years, but we're also looking at some lighting upgrades, et cetera. And then the pool fell into that, and we're doing it as we speak, but that was the thing in the worst possible shape, and because it's a multi-million-dollar item, it's large percentage-wise and pragmatically. So we're actually addressing all of the worst items in the rec world for sure. We've got some, and for each of those, we were successful grant applicants. So there are subsidized repairs and renovations to bring more life back to those assets. So overall, they're very good stories. We've seen problems, we're getting help, and we're doing it. I mean, that's the takeaway. And we're going to get that 12% down to something less than 12. But, you know, that's the goal. We are making good progress on all the worst items in the world of community services. Mr. Cook, though, does that particularly for a living, and if there's anything I missed or he wants to highlight, I should not steal his thunder.
Mr. Cook, any further comments?
Through the mayor, I can say that we have a number of projects in the upcoming budget to help improve some of our parks and facilities. But yeah, we do strive to keep them as good as we can. And yeah, there is a lot of improvements coming. I think next year we'll see a huge change.
Councillor?
Yes, that's fine, thank you. I know that we're going through the upgrades at Centennial One, and we're going the upgrades in North Pelham and other things that are ongoing right now that won't be reflected in this, so thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. Any further questions to our presenters? And to Mr. Young while he's present? Okay, not seeing any. Thank you, ladies, for your presentation, and thank you, Mr. Young, for all the work you put into this report also. Thank you. To the clerk.
Through you, Mr. Mayor, thank you. I do have a motion put forth by Councillor Wink, seconded by Councillor Bernarski. Be it resolved that Council received the GEI Canada 2026 Asset Management Policy Update and Annual Progress Report presentation for information. To you, Mr. Mayor, for discussion.
Okay, thank you. Any further discussion, questions on this report? Not seeing any. I'll call the vote. All those in favor? I see none opposed. Motion carries.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. That does bring us to the adoption of minutes. I have a motion put forth by Councillor Eckert, seconded by Councillor Hildebrandt. Be it resolved that the following minutes be adopted as printed, circulated, and read. 1, C11, 2026, regular council meeting for June 10th, 2026, and SC04/2026, special council meeting June 11th, 2026. To you, Mr. Mayor, to call for any errors or omissions.
Thank you. After viewing the minutes, does any council member have any comments to make on the minutes? Not seeing any. I'll call the vote. All those in favor? Seeing none opposed, motion carries.
Through you, Mr. Mayor, thank you. That does bring us to item 8, which is the request to lift consent agenda items for separate consideration. If any members of council wish to amend a resolution, now would be the time to list that item.
Thank you. Does any member of council wish to lift any consent agenda item? Not seeing any, Madam Clerk.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I have a motion put forth by Councillor Kerr, seconded by Councillor Wink. Be it resolved that the consent agenda items as listed on the June 24th, 2026 council agenda be received and the recommendations contained therein be approved. To you, Mr. Mayor, for discussion.
Okay, thank you. Any of these items that a councillor would like to discuss? We'll go with Councillor Kerr.
Yes, item 9.2.1, the cemetery historic guided tours. I just wanted to comment, I think it's an excellent idea. I've been involved in my prior life. Actually, we used to take kids into cemeteries with paper, and they would take charcoal and do cemetery stones. And part of it was to learn the history of the people that were there. And I think it's a critical component that we can take advantage of this time to educate people and give them the opportunity to look around and realize how historic our town really is, and suddenly recognize some of the names on those stones and throughout the area that are on names of streets or areas, and you can see the progression over time. So I think it's a positive idea. I recognize the limitations and what they're working around and feel that they can do it, but I just wanted to highlight, I think this is one of these new educational opportunities that I think we should be taking advantage of, especially with new people coming into the town, to give them a little bit more of the history of the town.
Thank you for that, Councillor, and I agree wholeheartedly. And this, I believe, was first brought to as an idea 2012 or something. It's been kicked around the town a long time, and whoever pushed it farther down the road to actually make it happen, like you say, I think it's a great idea, and hopefully it'll become an annual. Excellent. Thank you. Councillor Hildebrandt.
I'd like to add to that tour. The question I've got to add is, I'm not sure how many people have toured the inside of the mausoleum. It's got an amazing history of our town. If you haven't been inside there, I think that should be added to the tour if that's possible. I'm not sure who's in charge of organizing the tour, but that would be my suggestion. You need to go inside the mausoleum.
Mr. Cook, is that your department that's looking after this?
Yes, through the mayor. It's one of our programmers that put this whole thing together. So, although I don't know all of the details, I think we could probably add the mausoleum to that. I'm sure it's included.
Excellent, thank you. And I believe council will, not wanting to give too much away, but council will indeed, if you go on the tour, recognize the undertaker. I'll just leave it at that. Any other comments on this particular item or any items as we see? Haley, you're a little late for this. We just discussed the cemeteries. I'll ask you the question. It's been on the books for about 2012, and what was the story? What actually got it going again? And just, I know the interest has always been below the surface, but can you tell me what brought it to the surface and actually got the everything in gear?
I don't know if I can speak to that too much. From what I understand, it was the committee, the past
Oh,
committee.
microphone up. There you go.
Almost.
Nope.
Nope. Green light.
There you go.
Okay.
Thanks.
It was the past committee, Gary Chambers brought forward just how successful it was in the past, and there was a lot of interest to bring it forward again. I do know Vicky was a positive impact on bringing it back, so
Okay.
Karen, our programmer, is the one that's going to actually run it, so.
But this is the first time we've done it in Pelham, though, right?
This way officially, yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
okay. Like I said, it'd be interesting to, and when will the tickets go on sale and what, I guess you had to wait for this to
Yeah.
get by, but.
Yep, we're in preparation, getting it all ready, so if this is successful, then we hope to get it going in the next month or so.
Excellent. Okay, very good. Thanks.
Thanks.
Any other questions to Haley, or if not, then we'll go to other items on the agenda. Thanks, Haley.
No
Thank you, Councilor Wing.
Yes, 9.2.4, I just want to recognize the corporate services staff for putting out our annual report. It's an excellent document, and I'm sure we will be getting some accolades for the production of this, but, you know, we don't have to provide accolades and say job well done waiting for an award. So appreciate everything that the corporate services staff have done towards the report. So thank you.
Thank you. I guess I'd also like to comment on the Niagara South Coast Tourism Association and our membership in that. Council will remember, I think, I'll ask the CAO, the amount that we put in there, I think we're getting excellent value for our money. Comments?
I would echo those. So we're in year 2 of the 2-year pilot project. The City of Port Colborne provided matching funds as an inducement to get us to join in with them. So it's multiple municipalities together. We are the northern terminus of the South Coast Tourism Association, but that presents excellent opportunities for our tourism-related businesses because we have a different climate and different offerings than those to the south of us. We're landlocked. We don't have beaches. They don't have a winery or two. They don't have a maple sugar bush. They don't have the tulips. This goes on and on and on. So it's been very effective because they can put together wonderful day trip packages and schedules and opportunities to do really good variety of things that we don't have and that they don't have. And so conjunctively, you can get a really good Niagara experience that's off the beaten path. So And we now have about a year and a half, roughly, of experience with being fairly heavily promoted online through social media, the website, et cetera, with these various opportunities. I think that's pretty fair. So I can tell this council that the next council will be provided with the opportunity for us to carry on the work. And although I know we need to do, we've got roughly half a year, we need to do a little more, get more feedback from our member businesses. We've certainly held a couple of functions, which I'm sure Your Worship and most of council will remember, that were fairly well attended by local businesses that operate in the tourism or hospitality or related kind of sphere. And there's been excitement, and I understand it's been successful, although I don't have data at my fingertips to prove that to you. But I haven't had any negative feedback. I've only had positive feedback and or optimistic feedback. So far, it seems so good. Dr. Dusling's also had some involvement. I don't know if she has any commentary that perhaps I've missed on or am unaware of, but the end of the Port Colborne incentive comes to its end in December of this year, and so we'll need to make decisions about budgets for next year. But thus far, I think it's been an excellent initiative that has only had benefit from the position of my office. Thank you.
Before you answer, Mr., if I also will ask you a question. Does this involve any of our staff time, or is this looked after all by that association? Please.
Through you, Mr. Mayor, first to just echo David's comments, I think we get very good value. The town is a level B member, so we provide $12,000 a year for the services that we get for tourism. And I think they've been outstanding. They've done some great work in terms of bicycle paths. We've just seen the first Indigenous mural in Fenwick. Lots of online platforms. I know some of our tourism operators have been very happy with it. So all good value, and we are doing a strategic plan this fall. So we're looking at where we can go as a group together. There is some minimal staff time involved. Jennifer, myself, and Vicki have attended some meetings, and a few of us, including Leah, will be attending the strategic planning session later this summer. So minimal staff time, but the work is basically done by Port Colborne.
Excellent. Another question is the Geopark of Niagara seems to be picking up steam, or is indeed settled, and I believe we have at least one feature in Pelham. Is that on their radar that to also scope that out?
Through you, Mr. Mayor, I'm not sure about that, but we can find out more details for you.
If not just in Pelham, but all the way, I don't know, I think they got 12 locations in Niagara, so that would be something else to look at. Excellent.
I will get back to you.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions on agenda items? Councilor Nisnik.
Thank you. Yes, back up to 9.2.4. I just want to kind of highlight, I think, for residents who may not have read the entire report with regards to our net debt decrease. I think one of our missions here for our council for the last 4 years has been to get our finances under control. And I just want to do a shout out to our finance team for their hard work and educating us and keeping us on track within budget, and actually reducing that net debt from 2021 was 12.1 million was our net debt, and now we have reduced that in 2025 to 4.6 billion. So that's a huge decrease over those 4 years, and I just really think that that's something to celebrate as we are maintaining all the services and all the programs while we do that. So great financial responsibility from this council. So congratulations. Thank you.
Points well made, Councillor, and you're exactly right. Everything this council and town staff can be very proud of our accomplishments. Any other question or any other debate on any of the items? Not seen any. Madam Clerk?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Again, it's a motion being put forth by Councillor Kerr, seconded by Councillor Wink. Be resolved that the consent agenda items as listed on the June 24th, 2026 council agenda be received and the recommendations contained therein be approved. To you, Mr. Mayor, I'm looking for the vote.
Thank you. One last chance. Any questions or comments? Not seeing any. I'll call the vote. All those in favor? Seeing none opposed, motion carries.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. That brings us to our reports. I have a motion put forth by Councillor Bernarski, seconded by Councillor Niznik. Be it resolved that Council receive Report 2026-0140 Meridian Community Center Concession Trial Period Extension for information, and that Council extend the Meridian Community Center Concession Trial Period for an additional 6 months, and that staff report back to Council in Q2 of 2027 with recommendations for further concession operations. To you, Mr. Mayor, for discussion.
Okay, thank you. Council, any discussion on this report? I thought it was a very well-written report, and it does back up the fact, I know not so much on this council, but on our previous council, we had councilors that thought that that was a real cash cow and that we should be really charging a lot of rent and what have you. And this report, definitely, it's not a cash cow. It's something that demands a lot of management. And I think the town is doing a great job on it. And myself, I would definitely go for extending the trial, just to. I can't imagine that MCC without something in that bottom. So I'll open it to council. Any other comments, Councilor Kerr?
Yes, I agree. The report was well done. It does highlight the fact that, and having been a private business person myself, startup costs always at the beginning are always the bugaboo that hit everybody, and you really need to get a solid year when you've got your feet under yourself and are operating, to figure out what your real costs are. I thought they did a good job of highlighting the fact that there's less valuable time, and it kind of matches it with a lot of businesses. An example, I was just at a Font Hill Legion meeting, and they were talking about the fact that they were changing their hours of operation because the revenues weren't paying for the staff to be there. So this is not a unique situation, I think, to just this concession stand, but it's other places that are dependent upon people traffic to come in and purchase and do things and buy things. So I think the extension for another 6 months, the refinement of the design of it, is all valuable for everyone in terms of coming up with something that, as I think about it, when you're there, it's nice to have it. Sometimes we don't see it because we're not there as frequently as maybe we might be, but others would utilize it. So I think this is a very positive, and I appreciated the report, the way it was written and outlined and framed.
Okay, thank you, Councilor. Deputy Mayor Eckert.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Yes, excellent report, Ryan. Thank you very much. I was a big supporter of going this route in the first place. I continue to be a supporter of the decision we made. I think I would be in support of continue an additional 6 months. I think it would be premature to sort of cut the legs out from underneath that. They had, last year they came in the middle of the year sort of thing. They had some immediate startup costs. They're now into halfway through a full year of operation, and they're already identifying areas that they need to make changes, and their goal is to make this, if not self-sufficient, then to make a profit. And I think it would be premature to end that. And I think what we have going in there now is far better than what we had before, not only in customer service, but in the quality of the items that are being offered to the public. And there's lots of big events coming up, and they seem to be performing quite well. So I would be in support of extending this for another 6 months and getting a report back after they've had a full year of seeing what's up. And I want to commend everybody involved, and particularly the director, Amanda, for the job you're doing over there. and I appreciate it very much, so I would be in support of the additional 6 months. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor. Councillor Wink.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. Thank you for this report. I think it's very detailed and excellently done. It doesn't surprise me that we're in a deficit. To underscore or to agree with Councillor Eckert's comments about the startup costs, and it costs quite a bit. I appreciate the fact that we've looked at the situation and are prepared to pivot somewhat. Because if the easy thing to do is just keep on going the way we've been going, but to make this successful, you've got to say, okay, what's working well and what's not working well, and how can we improve the bottom line? And we're treating this as just a sub-business of the corporation and whatever, and you have to pivot from time to time, and this is a good time to pivot, and hopefully the results will be better, but I'm in full support of extending this for another 6 months.
Okay. Thank you, Councillor. No, let's go. Councillor, ladies first. Councillor Nesnick.
Thank you, sir. Yes, so through you, just a couple questions. I agree with Councillor Wink there about the pivoting. Would some of you, or Ryan, or maybe you could come up and just outline some of the ways you have pivoted? And I know the opening of the Mike Cholfie up top and increasing the amount of offerings up on that level has been a real positive for our hockey parents and our participants who access that area of the arena. So so thank you. So if you could just talk a little bit about how you have pivoted in order to reduce costs, that would be great.
Amanda, please.
Okay, thank you. Yes, so pivoting through, we are expanding to partner with the user groups and outside user groups coming in with a catering package. We have a small catering menu now that we will expand to include more offerings. So anyone renting any space in the MCC, they will have a full service catering service inside the MCC, which will be spearheaded by myself and supported by the staff that help keep the concession going. The other project that I'm putting in place as well are birthday party packages. So we've seen an increase in the last year that I've been here that more birthday parties are coming in and renting out the space in the Accursi room and the Kinsman room. So putting together birthday packages that we can offer through the concession. An example or a little sneak peek would be a carnival birthday package. So with popcorn and slushies and cotton candy, to have that be a full service for the parents coming in, that the room would be set up with everything in there. They come, they celebrate, and then they go. A very hands-off approach for our users coming into the MCC. The other expansion of the menu of the downstairs concession will happen in September when we see our hockey crew come back in. We'll develop cost-saving strategies with continuing our made-to-order strategy. So we are not batch cooking, so we are seeing a very big reduction in waste by cooking to order when it is ordered from the user coming up to the counter. As you can see in the report, the food cost is very good at sitting around 40%. That in the industry, with my 20 plus years experience, is a very small cost when it comes to concession food, with a lot of consumer packaged goods being a higher end. And then we are looking at a value for our customers coming into the MCC. We don't want to be that big entertainment sector that would see a giant markup. We want to make sure that our customers see the value coming into the MCC concessions as well. We are looking at hours too for a cost savings when it comes to the labor. Obviously in the report, the labor was the big piece of it. So really tweaking those hours to make sure we are getting good customer service, but we're also being very conscious of the bottom line and our costs as well.
Councillor.
Yes, thank you very much. I do agree that we should extend it for the next proposed amount of 6 months. And I think it's okay. I don't think our goal here is to make a fortune. Our goal here is to provide a nice service, a food service, a catering service to our customers who use the MCC. So I think you're on the right track. And I think, breaking even with a minor profit would be keeping us all very, very happy. So keep up the good work. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Any further questions on the report or to the presenter?
Thank you, through you, Mr. Mayor. And really just an observation and something to consider while pivoting, or as Councillor Nisnik said, labor costs, and you mentioned that as well being a big thing. I've noticed it twice, and just this past weekend after the Touch a Truck event, I went in with my daughters and we went to the concession downstairs, got some food, and the employee running the concession did, of course, have to have a break and close the gate, and with the sign back in 15 minutes or whatever the case may be. And in that time, it was just interesting that I noticed there were 3 different families that came through looking to get something, and then obviously there was nobody there to run it. And I think they came back twice in that time and then eventually just left. And I just thought, that's a missed opportunity for some revenue there, but also maybe their feelings, towards that might have not been so great. So just something to consider when pivoting, and obviously staff would need to have breaks, but if there's a way to cycle somebody else through to cover that break-off period. And I mean, a random Saturday in June may not be the biggest time to, or a money-making day, but just a consideration that I had for your thoughts while you work through this. Also in support of extending it for sure. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Councillor.
Thank you, Councillor. Any other comments or questions? Councillor Hildebrand?
Through you, Mr. Mayor. I believe the food services business is the hardest to make ends meet. That in general is what food service is all about. I appreciate the efforts you're making, the changes you're making, because if we keep on doing what we've always done, we're going to get what we've gotten. And I'm glad you're making some tweaks to the service. I'm sort of disappointed in one area, and that's not with regard to food services. My grandson he's just very young, plays junior C hockey. They pack their arenas. And I know the attendance at a junior B games are different. Junior A and junior C, packed buildings. Junior B is an issue because you don't have any local kids there. So I'm not sure what you can do, because those facilities sell a fortune of stuff during those games. Just an odd comment. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Councillor Hildebrand. Any other comments or questions? Amanda, I just have one, and comes from being on this council for 8 years. Around Christmas time, we had Mr. Cook presented the kids' Christmas cards, and he always had very good remarks. He is indeed a born entertainer. So I'm thinking maybe he could get something going there during the lunch hour, and I don't know what he can pick his menu, and I'm sure that would be a crowd pleaser. No comment needed, Ryan.
Through you, Mr. Mayor, we are looking for a clown for the session carnival package, so perhaps that could be his niche that he goes into next.
I'm glad you said that.
Yes. Okay, anyway, thank you. And Ryan, you know it's all in jest. Yes. Okay. Thank you, Amanda. And say hi to your dad for me. Okay, thanks a lot. Any other closing comments or questions? Not seeing any, I'll turn to the clerk.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The motion's on the floor, so I'll be looking for the vote.
Okay, without seeing any further comments, I will ask the vote. All those in favor? I see none opposed. Motion carries.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. That does bring us to new business. If you'd like to call for any new business, now would be the time.
Okay. Any new business? Yep, Deputy Mayor Eckert, please.
Yes, good morning, Mr. Mayor. On the weekend, I had the fortune of driving down Rice Road and seeing an amazing event display going on at the MCC, Touch a Truck. And I was astounded by the number of displays and the attendance that I saw there. And I wanted to go back because I wanted to get in those trucks, but especially a front-end loader. But I was wondering if we could ask the fire chief if he could comment on the activity on the weekend.
Definitely a great idea. Chief?
Through you, Mr. Mayor, yeah, it was overwhelming success. We couldn't have been happier. It was organized by the association, Station 1 Fire Association. It wasn't an active event. And the whole thing was to raise money and actually toys for the Ronald McDonald charity. So one of the things we asked for was an unwrapped toy donated when you came, and we filled the fire truck. We got more than we expected. We had over 1,000 people. We had EMS, NRP, OPP, RCMP, the library even came and set up their trailer. We had 44 pieces of equipment, from front-end loaders to cement trucks to, actually surprisingly, one of the most popular vehicles there was the articulating regional bus. They counted and they had over 700 kids through their bus. The food was donated by Country Boys, Italian Peasant, and Storm's Meats. And we started serving lunch around 11 o'clock, and by 12:30, we had served over 750 people, and we ran out of food. So it's, yeah, I can't say any more. The committee did a great job organizing it. We've already had a number of companies approach us and want to come back next year, and they want to sponsor it, which is even better for us to raise more funds. So,
Wow. Deputy?
Thank you very much, Chief, and congratulations to the organizing committee from the association at Station 1. They always do a great job of everything they organize, and unfortunately for them, I believe they now have themselves a yearly job, because you're right, it looked and sounds like it was an overwhelming success. You know, when they're scheduling next year in Cook's Corner, maybe they take that into consideration. I'm sure that the people that came in looking at Cook's Corner and found it closed for break time were because you had already exhausted your food supply and they had to get something someplace. So congratulations on that, and please pass on my and council's appreciation for whoever organized it. Thank you.
thank you. It's, well, Councillor Bernarski, he was actually in attendance with his group, and I think maybe, I know you can comment on it, but it was a good time.
Yeah, thank you, through Mr. Mayor. It was awesome. It was fantastic. My girls were in every single piece of equipment. For whatever reason, we were stuck in that bus like 5 times. That's what they came back to. Is, can we go back to the bus? Go back to the bus? I'm like, oh my gosh, fine, and we did. But yeah, it was amazing. The firefighters, the association did fantastic work, yeah, look forward to next year.
Thank you. And quite a cost that's absorbed by the equipment. The guys that bring it in, I went by on a Monday morning and there was someone loading up one of the tracked vehicles from Battlefield, I believe. And yeah, to bring it, take it, take it off, and then come back and pick it up. That's a lot of work and time for those companies. So, so it is great to see that those companies are paying the price and being involved in the community, and kudos, of course, to the association for putting on this event. Wow, this incredible. This isn't the first year, is it?
Through Mr. Mayor, yes, it is. It's the
Oh, it
first
is the
year
first.
for
Okay,
us,
I
yep.
thought you had done it last year on a smaller scale. Okay, excellent. Well, then we look forward to it next year. I had one of the posters, and I wanted to go and take it home and put it on the fridge. Instead, I put it on top of my nightstand, and I forgot all about it, and I didn't get to go. So next year would be a priority.
Maybe you can bring your tractor next year.
Oh, there we go. I don't know if it'll make the trip. There we go. Thanks for bringing that up, Deputy Mayor. That was indeed a very nice event. Any other new business? I'm not seeing any, Madam Clerk.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. That does bring us to our motions and our notices of motion, and we do have a motion forth by Councillor Hildebrandt on solar panels. Councillor, would you like to read that into the record, or would you prefer me?
I will be glad to read that into the record.
Thank you.
Whereas the Town of Pelham Council values the environmental and climate adaptation, and whereas the Town of Pelham continues to seek opportunities to reduce electricity costs, improve energy resiliency, and lower greenhouse gas emissions, and whereas the community pool is currently under renovation, and solar panels as a renewable source of clean energy may be suitable for harnessing energy and used potential shade sales for residents. Now therefore be it resolved that council directs staff to obtain a feasibility solar panel study for the swimming pool, and that the study review potential cost savings, greenhouse gas reductions, capital costs, payback timelines, and that council directs staff to report back to council by Q3 with recommendations regarding the potential use of solar panels at the community pool. Thank you.
Thank you. And do you have a seconder?
Yes.
Oh.
So just to add to it, I thank Councillor Hildebrand for bringing this forward, and when he mentioned his notice of motion, I gave him a nudge right away and said I'd be more than willing to support this. Now's a perfect opportunity to look at this while the pool's going under reconstruction, refurbishment, whatever you want to call it. But, you know, here's an opportunity where we can, A, look at potentially saving money, B, providing shade, which is much needed for the area. It's environmentally efficient, and we're dealing with a different contractor, hydro provider on this one, so hopefully if we do recommend this, we can get it done fairly quickly as opposed to waiting for Hydro One. So, you know, I fully support this motion, so thanks, Councillor Hildebrand.
Okay, thank you. And we look forward to the study, that's for sure. Yeah. Any comments from here? Deputy Mayor Eckert?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Mayor. Being a supporter of a new pool as opposed to renovations to the old pool, there's one thing I would like to have included in this report, and I think it's kind of premature to have anybody answer this question, but what I would like to see is, my concern is, first of all, I think the motion is excellent. I think the idea of putting in solar panels anywhere we can, we're going ahead with the project hopefully soon at the MCC, solar panels on the roof, and I think this is an excellent opportunity to expand that and put them in at the pool for all of the reasons that they've said. My only concern would be what is the expected lifespan of the renovated pool? And my concern would be that going through the cost of installing solar panels, and is the pool going to be viable long enough to recover those costs, or will the pool be needing replacing prior to, and therefore we don't recover that cost, and then we have to move them to another location. So when the report is done, what I would like to see is that included in there to say that this is viable, or how long the pool we figure will be viable, and also the amount of expected time for cost recovery. So if that's my only comment. I do support the motion. I want to see the report. I just like that included in there. Thank you.
Yep, a very good point, Deputy Mayor. Thank you. Any other questions? Let's go back to Councillor Kerr.
Yeah, I think to sort of fill in with Councillor Eckert, when we had the discussion of do we build a new pool or do we renovate, there was a great discussion at that time about the potential lifespan of it. So that would easily be put, I don't think there's a great difficulty of including that in the report. And when we talk about paybacks, it's always, if it doesn't fit within the window, then it really doesn't make any sense. So I think it becomes a very simple yes or no response. So I'm very much in favor of looking at it, because not only from the electrical side, but from the shade side. And that if we just look at the dollars electrically and we're not taking into account the amenity that might be added to it, over the lifespan of a renovated pool, if it makes sense financially, then we get a multiple win out of it rather than strictly the electrical cost. And I appreciate Councillor Hildebrand bringing this motion forward.
Thank you. Any, Councilor Bernarski?
Thank you, through you, Mr. Mayor. Yes, Councillor Hildebrand, thanks for bringing this forward. I love the motion, the shade aspect for sure. My question would be the grant that we received for the pool, and I believe there were some unspent dollars in that grant. Based on the study, and if we were to move forward with that, is there a possibility of using some of that grant money instead of sending it back towards this project, or has that kind of ship sailed? I'm not sure if anybody.
And who would know that? Oh, yeah, we'll turn to the Deputy Treasurer on that.
Thank you. Through you, Mr. Mayor. So I believe we went back to the funder and we went back with a revised plan of how we were going to spend the grant money. So the grant money is fully allocated, so to speak. But it was just a budget at the time. There was a bunch of things we wanted to do. We obviously haven't done that, so the cost may actually be under or over. So if this is something the council wishes to explore, we can definitely go back to the funder and just give them an update and see if they will be willing to, accept a revision on that as well.
Interesting. Okay, thank you. Thank you for that. Thank you. Councilor Hildebrand.
Through you, Mr. Mayor. The reason I brought this motion forward was because I read a preliminary report from another municipality that's doing exactly what we want to do. So they're being successful in doing what we want, and I believe there are grant opportunities for doing this as well, so that's nothing new. Councillor Wink said there's a different electricity supplier, which makes a difference in the CII, which is the application that has to be processed through to the electricity supplier to put in behind the meter solar panels, or no matter what you do with solar panels. We know now that Hydro One took 146 days to have that process approved, where the schedule said they should only take 60 days. NPI, I've talked to them already, their schedule is 30 days max, and their price is almost nil, and I'm sure that can almost be eliminated. So based on those details, I believe the complete project could be installed before the pool starts in operation in June.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor. Again, we look forward to the report. With that report, Mr. CAO, also the possibility of grants, or would that be another department that would have to look into that? Or
Well, I'm ever the optimist, right? My glass is always half full and never half empty. And we have a Cracker Jack grant writing team, as everyone knows. So one assumes, but I am not aware of any particular specific grant opportunities at this exact moment in time.
Yes.
This wasn't on our radar. And if it's approved by council, then we will look forthwith.
Okay, excellent. Thank you. Any comment from Public Works or Facilities? No? Okay. Thank you. Any other comments or questions? Not seeing any. I'll call the vote. All those in favor of the motion? I see none opposed. Motion carries. Thank you, Councilor Hildebrand and Councilor Wink. To the clerk.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. That brings us to our notice of motion being put forth by the Deputy Mayor Eckert.
Deputy Mayor Eckert, please.
Thank you. I informed the clerk prior to the meeting that at the present time, I'm going to postpone my notice of motion, and I'll bring it forward at some other later time. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Deputy Mayor Eckert. To the clerk.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I have so noted. I have a motion put forth by Councillor Niznik, seconded by Councillor Kerr. Be it resolved that Council resolve into closed session to consider the following matters. 1, closed session report 2026-0132, property located in Ward 3, a proposed or pending acquisition or disposition of land by the municipality or local board as per section 239(2)C of the Municipal Act 2021. To you, Mr. Mayor, for discussion.
Okay, thank you. All those in favor of going in closed, please. Seeing none opposed, we will momentarily be going in closed.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. If council can give me a moment to turn off the streaming and the recording. One moment.
And council, should we call for a break, or are we okay?
Yeah, I'll break for sure.
A break?